then she will really see who has her back or not. Kim, pardon me, is a middle child. And I can relate, I'm a middle child, and I feel like we are always playing the, I don't want to mess things up, Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel where I talk about Real Housewives and fun reality stars. I don't know if you heard this, but Kim Richards from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills just said that she just announced again that she's going to be releasing a book, a memoir. And I'm very proud of her. I feel like she has a lot to say because I was watching Up and Adam, shout out to him. I was watching Up and Adam and he said that she's been in Hollywood basically her whole life. And I totally forgot about that, and I think there's a lot of secrets in her family. I mean, her old sister is Kathy Hilton, her young sister is Kyle Richards, and I feel like she struggled with addiction her whole life, more so, as I can see in her cards, than she has let on. So I'm really happy for her to be doing this memoir. It might cause a lot of trouble, and that's often what happens when you start to talk about family abuse you've been through, childhood trauma. A lot of your family members will come out and say, my story is not like this, but they forget that everybody's story is different. Just because one thing happened to one child doesn't mean it didn't happen to another. I mean, it's different if the other child is in the vicinity, because that's clearly lying, but if a parent treats one child differently to another, it's very, very common, especially in narcissistic family households, which I think she came from. That's just my opinion. I want to remind you all that this is intuitive based. It's not fact based, so please don't treat it as such. And whenever I tap into somebody's energy, I always call on angels to protect the energy that I'm tapping into. So I never send any dark spirits, never send any darkness, no spells. I don't do any spells. This is just what we can learn from this person. And I do encourage you to still buy her book when it comes out, if she does it, to support her, because I'm sure this must be quite a tough time for her. Okay, so let's get into it. I pulled 3 columns, as I usually do when I'm talking about one person, and I have a strong feeling of like she wants to get something out there, and I would encourage her to do it. So if either of you know her, I would have like communication to her. I would encourage her to go through with it, because then she will really see who has her back or not. Kim, pardon me, is a middle child, and I can relate, I'm a middle child, and I feel like we are always playing the, I don't want to mess things up, and then we lash out, and then when we lash out, we're the problem. So I feel like she has been seen as kind of like the scapegoat of the family, which is very common for middle children. I never really felt like that till recently. When I started, I went through my life of being like, I have to be the perfect child, I have to make the most money, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to cater to everybody else. When I started living for myself, I noticed a huge shift in people around me. So I see that with her. I think she's afraid to live that way. So I get from the past humility, and something might have happened to her. I feel like it was her relationship, the one that didn't end well with the father. I actually don't think it was the father of her children. I think it was the guy after that. Remember that guy that was on the show? I think it was him, the Knight of Cups. I forgot his name. I think it started with a V. I think it was a very tumultuous relationship. I'm pretty certain it's him that I'm thinking of. Very back and forth. Drugs were in the picture, I can see that, unfortunately. And he has a very shady past with 7 of Swords. So I think that's going to be a part of what she's going to talk about. She's going to talk about how, she got immersed in this, she grew up in this, she got immersed in this industry. I don't think she ever really wanted to be in it. And I think that was a major reason of why she left Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So with grief being her present, it says tears are what happen when the ice in the heart melts. Oh my gosh, that's really beautiful. So I have a strong sense, she had her kids that were going off to college and so forth when she was in the show. And I feel like as they get older, she strongly wants to be truthful. She is a Virgo too, and Virgos can suffer from addiction and suffer from wanting to be the people pleaser. So she's got the double people pleaser and the the middle child and the Virgo. Thankfully, I am an Aquarius, so I always break free of that needing to please people. But with her, she has a double whammy. And that's why I really, really encourage her to go through with this, because she might pull back because people around her don't want her to tell the truth. She has stories. I get she has 2 stories of guys being inappropriate with her. I'm so sorry that happened. Oh my gosh. I strongly see that. And see like a producer guy that she has a story about that she wants to tell. Older men trying to take advantage of her. I get that very strongly. So with 10 of Pentacles, the Wheel and Ace of Cups, releasing this, telling the truth, telling what happened to her, is going to free her up of a lot of anxiety that she's had. A lot of stress, anxiety that has been related to her addictions. And I feel like even how her family treats her is related to her addictions. When she speaks too much, oh, keep quiet, keep quiet, keep quiet. And I saw this clip. Kathy Hilton is a fun addition to the show. But I think she has another side to her. I mean, she is a Pisces, and Pisces have another side to them. The duality of the fishes, and ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. But there was I saw this clip of when Kim appeared to be on a substance, and I'm not going to say what I thought it was. I don't want to start speculation, but in my opinion, appeared to me that she was on a substance. Could have been alcohol, could have been something else, but her sister pulled her back together. So hard with all these K's, oh my gosh. I was thinking the other day, how does the mother Kris from the Kardashians keep up with everybody's names if everybody has the same letter? Oh my goodness. So her older sister Kathy picked her up and put her together for the world. And I get that sense here, so that she feels like every time they don't let her just be human. There always has to be a cost. There always has to be something else. Her freedom is always at a price. And it's a price she's not willing to pay anymore. And this is the age of Aquarius. A lot of secrets, The age of Pisces, we just came out of the age of Pisces. And now it's about freedom. But it is the duality, because Aquarius is ruled by Saturn and Uranus in modern astrology, and those two conflicting planets. Saturn is about work, action, and kind of like loving money, and the other side of that, Uranus, is about eccentricity, weirdness, fun, rebellious. So I think that's why there's such a split in the world right now, is that people have to choose to live with their daily lives. They have to choose, they're going to love money and only live for money, be a slave to money, or if they're going to break free of that and take their own path, live their own way, even if that means not speaking to family, even if that means letting go of friendships that have been decade long or 3 decades long, or however long it is. And it seems to me with the Liberation card, she's willing to do that. She's willing to do that. With doubt, it says the doubts and fears still come up. You don't believe anymore that they're you. So I see her freeing herself. In fact, she has a guy friend in her life that's encouraging her. I'm not sure if you guys know who that is. I can sense that energy very strongly. It's a masculine energy, and he's in her life and he's encouraging her to be free. And it says here, to me, I read this with 6 of Cups, the Hermit, and Death and Rebirth. Hermit is the Virgo card. She has done some introspection, and this freedom she will get from this, releasing this book, having everybody know her story, is bigger than just telling secrets. It's more of like, this happened to me, this is why I am the way that I am, and I'm still working on myself. So I think it's very beautiful. I see she's a very sweet soul. With the High Priestess, she's very intuitive. I think she might be into tarot and stuff like that, esoteric. Um, and she's going on a path right now that is very protected. I can feel that. She's very, very protected. It's very beautiful. So I did some clarification, and I got whoever this guy is from the past that I mentioned, that kind of won't leave her alone. It's an ex that won't leave her alone. The Empress, the Chariot, and the Lovers. So he had an idea that he wanted to move away with her, and that's why I thought it was that guy, because I remember them saying that they wanted to move away. He kind of wanted to take her and kind of like kidnap her, not illegally but like legally, you know. He wanted to isolate her, but it didn't work because her family stepped in and was like, I think Kathy specifically was like, you're not taking her anywhere. Like I said, Kathy has another side to her that hasn't come out in the show. I don't think it will, but all Pisces, to me, have another side to them, and you only get to see that if you mess with them. You spend like 24 hours with them, you know, spend some time with them, you'll see that they have another side to them that they tried to hide from people. Kind of like Libra, they tried to hide it, but it comes out. So with the Strength and Page of Earth, I see her learning, growing, moving to somewhere else. I'm not sure where she's going to move to, and maturing. I think she's going to get married again. Yeah, she's going to get married again. So let's see what secrets she has about Andy, because I feel like a lot of, and this is the thing, I said this before, I don't want to sound like I drop names, but I've met a lot of celebrities, and I always like to speak if I've had a positive experience about them. In fact, I don't mention most that I have met, and I don't mention the clients that I have that are well known or celebrities, because that's tacky to me. But the all students, I've had a lot of yoga students who've been celebrities, and I don't like to mention that because I don't feel like it's necessary. But I will say I did meet Andy Cohen about 8 years ago. He came into a restaurant I used to work at. In fact, he frequented it quite a bit that time, but he was very sweet, very, very sweet. He came in with just Jessica Parker. She was so lovely. She was really, really lovely. I was very stunned because I often get over celebrities and I'm like, oh god. I shouldn't be like that, but I've had such bad experiences that now I'm just like, take them face value for what it is. But he was very, very sweet, and he came in and he was like, hi, how are you, you know, just very down to earth. And I always appreciate that. My dad is like that, and it has instilled in me that when you walk into a room, you say hi to people, you know. But not a lot of people do that. But he did that, and it always stuck out to me because not a lot of people do that, and it's a very traditional kind of old way of being hospitable. Like you walk into a room and you say hi, you know. So I really, really liked that. So let's see. Back to my point about Andy Cohen. I feel like lots of past housewives are going to come out and say things about him, because, and I want to do a reading on this. Maybe that will be my next one. Comment if you want to see this reading. But I feel like he surrounded himself with people that are kind of like piranhas, and I don't think he had an intention. Geminis have a tendency to do that. Geminis have a tendency to surround themselves, Andy's a Gemini, with piranhas. So let's see what she has to say about Andy. Just give me what you have to say about Andy. Just give me what you have to say about Andy. Just give me what you have to say about Andy. Okay, so I guess she felt treated poorly, ignored sometimes. Like she wasn't being heard. Okay. So she felt like she had to have her guard up. And you know, Virgos and Geminis are just not a good match. Oh yeah, I can see this. Because Geminis are like, Okay, I get both signs. I love both signs very much, very dearly. A lot of my friends are Geminis. My dad is a Virgo. My best friend is a Virgo. So like, I get it. My rising is Virgo, so I can see. I can be in the middle and see both sides. But I feel like she felt like she had to have her guard up around him. Um, because she felt like she couldn't trust him. Because Virgos are very much like, you need to show me, and a part of me is like that, so that's why I can relate. Like, you need to, it takes me a while to trust people, and she's like that too. It takes a while to trust people, but he's like asking questions, this, like, no. And she's like, whoa, this is a lot. Like, I barely know you, and you want to know so much about me. So with the World and Knight of Wands, she kind of felt like he imposed on her life a little. And with Four of Cups, she was like, I don't really feel, I don't feel like this is gonna work out. And it seems like at the end they tried to come to consensus, because she was like, maybe it's me. She has a tendency to blame herself first. She was like, maybe it's me, maybe it's this, but I think her boundaries don't match with what the show has entailed, if that makes any sense. Same thing with Lisa Vanderpump, another Virgo. I think Virgos are very good at putting in their boundaries, and once they do, they're like, that's it. And you either fit to that or you don't, and I don't think Real Housewives fit, and I think Andy got upset that she was hiding some things from them. So I think that's my prediction about Andy. So what else do you have? What other tell-all will be in this book? Okay, so interesting. Okay, so, whoa. She feels like the show's still a part of her life that she can't get back, and she was kind of bitter about it for a while. She learned a lot with Ace of Pentacles, Eight of Cups. She learned a lot. Like, she learned to make lemonade out of lemons, because she felt like the show was a lot. She was kind of pushed into it. I think her sister Kyle might have pushed her into it, and it taught her many things. And she decided Virgos are really, really good at this. They're really good at compartmentalizing things and not taking things too personally. And overall, she's going to say that it was actually for her own good. So I'm really, really happy for her. Hope you enjoyed that, everybody. Please tell me what you thought about it. Please tell me what you think about Kim, what you think the secrets will be. But I do encourage you to still buy the book, just to support and to also see if it's true or not. I love you all. Take care.